is the Purple Preview. Now live from the stadium, WJZ's Mark Viviano.
Hello and welcome to Purple Preview. It's our season-long series of Saturday night reports that take you inside Ravens training camp, into the regular season, and possibly beyond. And what a season to launch this show. The Ravens enter a pivotal year. They're trying to end a playoff drought. They've made changes to the coaching staff and their roster, including the drafting of quarterback Lamar Jackson in the first round. Now, tonight the Ravens were planning to give their fans a sneak preview of the 2018 team with a public practice here at the stadium. Free admission for fans, but that practice, as you know by now, canceled due to today's heavy rains. No practice, no fireworks, and at this point, no announced plans to reschedule a similar downtown event. The Ravens did kick off training camp this past Thursday, the earliest they have ever started camp. And that's because of an extra preseason game. They're going to play the Chicago Bears in the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio in less than 2 weeks. Starting training camp early is an adjustment for most veterans.
It's kind of different for me because I never played in the Hall of Fame game or been a part of it. You kind of here like two and a half weeks earlier than what you usually would be. So it's kind of like you got to pace yourself. You don't want to come in full speed and you still have 5 weeks to the first game, you know, or 6 weeks or something like that. So, I mean, I think it's always important to pace yourself, and I think, you know, we just follow coach.
Head coach John Harbaugh has been giving some veterans early dismissals from practice in order to ramp them up to training camp intensity. Now, quarterbacks are the focus of every NFL camp, even more so for the Ravens this year, as longtime undisputed starter Joe Flacco takes the field this time, knowing that the guy who was picked to eventually replace him is on the team now. Entering his 11th season in the NFL, Joe Flacco tells me his motivation is the same as it's always been. Work hard, help his teammates, and make the team a winner. But he does admit the presence of rookie Lamar Jackson, a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback drafted in the first round this year, can't be ignored.
I mean, obviously, you know, I think everybody, you know, whether they felt good or bad about it, when Lamar got drafted, there was a certain feeling, and you can't hide that.
Flacco can't hide because he's constantly asked about the rookie quarterback. Jackson was drafted to someday have Flacco's job. Joe embraces that challenge.
In order to make it in this league, period, you have to be able to, you know, tune out some things and believe in yourself and go play. So I don't know if this situation is any really different than just, you know, making it in this league. That's what it's all about, is being able to believe in yourself and go out there and play and, you know, rely on other guys and have that trust.
Flacco has earned the trust of his teammates. Some even say that the quarterback is motivated by Lamar Jackson's presence in camp, and that's good.
I expect Joe to have a career year this year and him to lead our team into the playoffs. And with the additions we have and our defense coming back, we all get a little bit better.
Now, Flacco was asked if he might get tired of repeated questions about Lamar Jackson this season, and he quickly responded, no, he's not worried because the Ravens will win, and no one will talk about it. Joe Cool. Is Joe confident? Now, you don't need a roster to recognize Joe Flacco, but there are a number of new faces with 90 players on the training camp roster, and a third of them rookies, either drafted or signed as undrafted. That in addition to the number of veterans signed as free agents. And they promise to restock the wide receiver group. Michael Crabtree, who you heard from earlier, foremost among the new faces in the receiver group. His first season as a Raven is his 10th year in the NFL. He immediately becomes their most experienced pass catcher. Crabtree's a big, strong receiver. He's had outstanding seasons out west with the San Francisco 49ers and Oakland Raiders. Had some big games in his career against the Ravens. Now Crabtree wears the purple. Another veteran added to the Ravens' new-look receiver group is Willie Snead, a smaller slot receiver. He comes to Baltimore after catching passes from Drew Brees the last 3 seasons in New Orleans. Now, he came into the league undrafted out of Ball State and has made a name and a career as a hardworking, physical pass catcher who will go across the middle. There are a couple of new quarterbacks in camp, both of them former Heisman Trophy winners. Robert Griffin III is in camp, trying to restart his career after he sat out last season. He played for the Cleveland Browns last, best known for his time with the Washington Redskins, who drafted him out of Baylor University. Unclear if Griffin's going to make the Ravens roster for the regular season, but he has practiced well so far. according to Ravens coaches. Rookie QB Lamar Jackson is, as you know, the most notable of the new Ravens, coming to camp with the tag as the team's quarterback of the future. Drafted in the first round and a pick that surprised many, he looks to be the heir apparent to Joe Flacco, who is entering his 11th season. Jackson won the Heisman Trophy at Louisville and is a prolific passer and runner, a multifaceted athlete who gives the Ravens a new, exciting look at the QB position. His progress as a pro will be a big story. Tight end Hayden Hurst, drafted before Jackson in the first round. Hurst is a big part of the Ravens' move to rebuild their tight end position after several injuries and subpar performances. Hurst was voted all-conference at South Carolina. He's a multi-sport athlete, played minor league baseball before returning to football in college. He played just 2 years at South Carolina. And another notable rookie addition is offensive tackle Orlando Brown Jr. He wears number 98. That's the number his dad wore for the Ravens as an original member of the team when they moved here from Cleveland back in 1995. Orlando Brown Jr., an All-American at Oklahoma, says he's proud and honored to wear that Ravens purple that his dad, who we knew as Zeus, wore here in Baltimore. Orlando Brown Jr. at right tackle, Ronnie Stanley on the left side. He was the Ravens' first-round pick out of Notre Dame back in 2016, preparing for his third season. I caught up with Ronnie Stanley at camp yesterday.
Right now, everyone's just trying to get the rust off and get back to the fundamentals. We're out here working together, really just trying to get our technique back and try to get into a groove.
As you enter year number 3 in the NFL, from rookie year till now, what sense do you have for your job and for what it takes to be an NFL player? Obviously off to a good start.
Yeah, definitely gave me a lot of understanding these last couple years and everything that it takes to come in the league. And I think that's only learned through time. I've learned a lot, and I'm definitely ready, to take my game to the next level, and as well as everyone else.
You've known success as a football player. The Ravens have a history of success, but haven't made the playoffs in the time that you've been here. Talk about that motivation and burning desire, both that you might feel and your teammates as you head into another season.
Oh, I know me and my teammates feel the same way. We're really hungry for that playoff spot, and we understand what we need to do. We're trying to get, not too ahead of ourselves, take it one game at a time, one day at a time, and we know if we do that, we have the talent, we have the work ethic that we can make the playoffs.
Finally, when you're out here at training camp, you have the opportunity, we saw you interacting with the fans, signing autographs for the young kids. What does that mean for you, that interaction, now that you are a Raven and you've been here for a couple of years and they reach out to you? What does that feel like as a professional?
Oh, it's awesome to see all the kids, be so supportive and just be so loving. Growing up in Las Vegas, we didn't have a professional team or anything like that, so I didn't get to enjoy certain things like this. But to see these kids and see how happy they are to see us, and it just brings joy to me.
Ronnie Stanley spent part of his offseason on a trip to Russia, where he attended soccer's World Cup, the other football. He's a big soccer fan and a big part of the Ravens' offensive line at left tackle. Back with more Purple Preview. First, some of the pictures that fans who have been lucky enough to attend training camp have shared on social media. We'll be right back.
You're watching the Purple Preview on WJZ.